So originally I thought I was going to be making a gaming video today, and then Sony releases the a7r4 out of nowhere. Now it's not a bad camera. It's obviously their best camera, but who asked for it, really? Obviously I want one. I want every new Sony camera and Nikon camera that comes out, but I feel like it's interesting that so many people have been waiting for the a7S3, I think specifically, and even maybe a new aps-c model camera and some lenses, and the first thing they decide to do is make a new a7r4 just to beat the competitors. It makes sense because they're trying their best to keep the a7r3 updated with the new firmware updates, and even with that, there are some people saying that the EVF was falling behind and the autofocus was lagging behind as well. So they probably felt that they needed to step that up in their high megapixel camera before they moved anywhere else. With that being said, though, I think it's so irritating at this point. I've been waiting for the a7S3 to come out for so long, and it just feels like it's never coming out at this point. But as the rumors say, there's supposed to be 3 new cameras within the next 3 months, I think it is. So, keep your fingers crossed. I think the a7S3 might come out soon, but it seems more likely that some form of cheaper full-frame camera might come out, or a new RX series, well before the a7S3 comes out, and maybe even a new aps-c camera, which, by all means, I'm willing to get. If it has a bigger battery, I'm going to buy it right away, because that's one of the biggest flaws of the a6500, really. It's kind of shit battery. I feel like when it comes to the aps-c bodies, what Sony should do is they should just take the full frame body and put an aps-c sensor in that. This way they don't have the overheating issues. They do 4K 60. They have the big battery, and it wouldn't be their small aps-c camera, but it would be a very powerful camera they'd probably be able to sell under $2,000. Now, they're probably not going to do that. They're probably going to keep the EVF on the left side or whatever and just make that bigger and iterate on that for a little bit. And if they do make it bigger, they're probably going to call it an A7000 or something. But I really hope they advance the aps-c line, because I really do think that's kind of the sweet point with performance of video and just the high frame rate within a small, cheap package. Because once you go to full frame and you still want good video, you're already on the a7 III or maybe the Z6, something along those lines. And then to buy good lenses for that, you're kind of $4,000 in. Where with the aps-c, there's a chance that you could maybe buy a $1,500 to $2,000 camera, while then buying $500 to $1,000 lenses, keeping your price point a lot lower. Now, this obviously isn't for everyone, but for some people using the a7r4, for example, that just came out, if it's anything like the a7r3, I'm assuming it's even better to record or sharper in Super 35 mode anyway. So a lot of people are already shooting in that crop mode for video. So the aps-c line from Sony is kind of that sweet point that they're just not fully utilizing, and it kind of sucks. So, as always, I am starting to ramble. The point of this video is basically just to say, who the hell asked for this camera? Obviously, it's amazing. And if you don't have an a7r3, if you're still in the a7r2, this is a great upgrade, I think, across the board. The weather sealing, the battery, the 4K recording, it is a better camera. But for me as an a7r3 user, I don't think I'm going to be upgrading anytime soon. I'm still looking forward to any aps-c cameras that Sony has coming out anytime soon. Hopefully nothing downgraded from the a6500 or side grade like this a6400 was. I'm looking for like a full frame version of the aps-c camera. I don't know if that makes sense. And aside from that, we all want the a7S3. We want to see what it's capable of. Maybe even 4K 60. We've been waiting a while for that. And I think that's it. I didn't think I was going to have to rush to make a video about Sony, but then they released their new mics and all this, so here we are. hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to have a Counter-Strike video tomorrow and then an update in between that of this whole setup and how I get it to look this way. And yeah, Geartrix out.